Coming up today on the video, ladies and gents, we will be talking about the magnificent Oaks, this ridiculous derby, and we're talking about Sandown today. The Queen's back on the turf in Abel. Will she win? We'll find out right after this. What's up, guys? Dino here. Welcome back to my racing channel. Goodness me, what was that all about yesterday? Oh my goodness. We had the spectacular Love winning the Oaks, and we had the ridiculous derby, all within the space of an hour. It was just, I thought it was just, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable for all different reasons. We'll go through the 4 races pretty quickly. Then we'll look into Sandown for a couple of tips. But honest to goodness, I was gobsmacked like a lot of people with the run from Love, the spectacular turn of foot that she had to win that race, and obviously Serpentine winning the derby. I mean, it was just crazy. It was absolute craziness within the space of an hour. We'll look at the first race, and here's the first race. We picked out Modern News, which I thought ran a really good race. Finished second. Thought it was going to win it, if I'm being honest. But we can't take anything away from the winner. Tawassel has won the race really, really well. Really well in the end. 1.5 lanes, then 1.75 back to Mutasawed. But Modern News, I thought, ran a good race. Came there with every chance. Got backed into joint favourite. But Tawassel's just obviously that little bit better than Modern News, and that proved it there. So a good run from Modern News, finished second. Obviously there was only 5 horses in that race, but disappointing to a degree. But I did think Modern News was just coming there. I thought it was going to win it, but Tawassel was the better horse in the end over the 6 furlongs on good ground at Epsom. Nothing to do with the course with 2 or 3 of the horses. I thought they handled the course perfectly well. So, no complaints. Tawassel's won it fair and square. Modern News has ran a good race for me. Another one to sort of keep a lookout for. Next race that we're going to look at is going to be the 225 Darrick. That's 3 times it's ran on the turf now. Now I know Epsom's completely different with the camber, etc., undulations on the course. Did it handle it? Probably not. But it's on turf again. That's 3 times now, and 3 times it's been beaten, well beaten on the turf, which is really, I've got to be honest, really surprising. Did I think it would have beaten Safe Voyage? If Safe Voyage wasn't up to scratch, didn't handle the course, then possibly. But as we all seen, Safe Voyage has won it by a length and a half, beating a really good horse in second, Vela Kent. But Darrick it didn't run its race. So it went through the same routine as it went, starting off at Newcastle, held up and coming through. It was held up again, ridden 3 out and struggling 2 furlongs out. And it's been beaten 12.5 lanes. You can't have any complaints whatsoever. For some reason, it just is a listed race too far for it? Is it really just a Class 2? Mr. Gosden will be able to tell us that. It had a good, really quality jockey on top. And again, it's been well and truly smashed out the park on turf. It'll be interesting what they do with Darrick now, especially with it running 3 times now. Will they drop it back in distance? Will they put it up to a mile? Will they put it up to 1 mile, 1 furlong? Does it need? I mean, it travels fine in a race. But Safe Voyage, can't take anything away with it. We did think that would probably win the race. It has won the race. And Darrick's ran disappointingly again. But do not, under any circumstances, ladies and gents, Darrick is a good horse. It's just finding that race for it, or the couple of races for it, that it's going to run on. I don't know. I mean, the turf yesterday, I think it was, well, it says there, good ground. Does it need quick ground? We'll find out in months to come. Keep Derek on side, ladies and gents. We're now going to go from one race to the spectacular Love. What a turn of foot that was 2 furlongs out. Frankly, darlings, whether it handled the course, I am not taking anything away from Love. Love has won this out the park. You could run that another 3 or 4 times with the same horses, and Love's going to win it every time. Every single time. That turn of foot there was better than the turn of foot at Newmarket. It was a lot. We all said it would come on from the race. It came on for the race. It stripped fitter. It won at Newmarket by 3 or 4 lanes, beating some really good horses. And people were talking about Frankly Darling being this big next big thing. Group 1. Was a Group 1 too far for it? Well, up against Love, it obviously was. Will it get dropped down to a Group 2? Will John Gosden keep Frankly Darling in the Group 1s? But the conversation we're having just now has to be about Love. It was absolutely spectacular. Perfectly ridden by Ryan. Just sat round about midfield, come into the straight, gave it a wee shot of the reins, and about 2.5 furlongs out, that turn of foot to win it by 9 lengths was just spectacular to watch. Spectacular. Tip that came on the channel, that was a tip. Love, just like Modern News was. But it's another winner on the channel. Hope all you ladies and gents were on, as I was. 11 to 10 favourite. It's still odds against. I thought it would have been odds on, to be quite honest. But to see 11 to 10 against was, in my book, really, it's a really good price. That won't be odds against the next race it comes out, no matter who it's running against. That will be odds on the next time Love comes out to run. Brilliant ride for Ryan. Aidan O'Brien again gets it ready. Spectacular. Brilliant, brilliant performance. One Love, certainly to put in the notebook. And then we go to the ridiculous. But it's only ridiculous if you've not picked a winner. If you listen to the jockey after it, he went to the letter of what Aidan O'Brien said to him. Get out in front, give the horse a breather between the 5 furlong pole and the 4 furlong pole, and kick on again. He's done exactly that to the letter, and he's made a mug of every single jockey in that field. You've got to give credit to the jockey. You've got to give credit to Aidan O'Brien for to run a horse once in a maiden, and granted it's won its maiden quite well, but when you look at the other horses in there, your Kamiko, your English King, your Mogul, Russian Emperor, I mean, look what's finished second. Khalifi Sat, Tom Marquand, he must have been saying to himself, that's what I could have done on English King. He must be saying that, to finish second. Then you had William Buick on one of Aidan O'Brien's outsiders at 60-61. Then you had Kamiko. Then you had English King. Then you had Mogul. The 3 in the bet, or the 4 in the bet, Russian Emperor as well. The 4 in the betting that everybody was thinking, is it going to be one of the 4? But see, when you watch the race again and you see Serpentine coming into that straight, he is a distance in front. And a lot of the jockeys totally thought he'll come back to us. There's no way on this planet, if they were to run that race again, that Serpentine's going to get a lead like that. It's just not going to happen. So it was a total misjudgment in my book of every single jockey apart from Emmett McNamara. He's done exactly what Aidan O'Brien's said to him to do. Get out in front, give the horse a breather between 5 furlongs and 4 furlongs, and kick on again. It will stay on for you. And that's exactly what the horse done. I mean, he's won it by 5.5 lengths. Would he have got caught if it had been 1 mile 6 furlongs? Probably. But it wasn't. It was 1 mile 4 on good conditions, and a total misjudgment in my book of all the other jockeys. Total misjudgment. They were all talking about taking Tom Marquand off the English King and putting the experienced Frankie Dettori, the brilliant jockey that he is, because he's been round Epsom that many times. And there we are. Tom Marquand has finished second in the Derby, beaten English King. I rest my case. Would they have won on English King? Probably not. Probably not. But there you go. He's finished second on Khalifa Sat. Mogul, pleased with Mogul. I thought ran a really good race. Yep, it's been beaten 7 lanes. But if you look at the distance between the second and the 6th, you're only talking 2 lanes. So I think a lot of these horses will come on again after this. I don't think Kamiko lasted home, as I said. I thought exactly what I said. It'll come in there. It'll be challenging. You take the winner out. It was challenging, but the last furlong, Kamiko's just fell away. So I don't think it gets home the 1 mile 4. I think Kamiko will go down to 1 mile 2 for the next race. I think English King will stay on 1-4. I think Mogul will stay on 1-4. I think Russian Emperor will stay on 1-4. But yeah, what a crazy, crazy race. Crazy race. But taking nothing away from the winner. It's won it out the park, 5.5 lanes. The jockey, honest to goodness, so pleased for the jockey. For Serpentine to win a maiden race and then put right into a Group 1, the biggest race in the world, and to win it by 5.5 lanes was just crazy, crazy. So we had mentioned English King and Mogul. They finished 5th and 6th, but I think we can put a line through that for that race for they horses, and see what happens. It'll be interesting where they go from here with English King, with Mogul, with Kamiko, Khalifa Sat. It'll be interesting, and also it'll be interesting if they put Tom Marquand back onto English King. That will be interesting. All right, so superb Oaks, crazy Derby. I would put a line through the Derby if I'm being honest. Now, on to today for Saturday. And we're at Sandown, sorry. And there's a few races here. We're going to go, not into that one. We're going to go quickly into the second race at Sandown. And this, today, with the TV races, this could be mostly a day for favourites. This could mostly be a day for favourites or second favourites. Reason I'm being, this could be a really good day for William Buick. This could be an absolutely scorching day for William Buick. I've quickly had a look at this race. I think the winner, in my opinion, is coming out of the top 4 here. My opinion only. The ground at the moment is still showing good at Sandown. I think Liberty Beach has got really good form. It's had 2 races. It will be fit. It's showing an overall rating of 109, carrying 8 stone 9. Then you look at Lazuli with William Buick, Charlie Appleby, showing at 5'2" at the moment, 8 stone 12 on its back, so it's carrying that little bit more weight on its back. Made in India has only had the 1 run, but that'll certainly come on from that. But I think the winner's got to come out of the top 2. And one of the tips for today is going to be Lazuli for William Buick and Charlie Appleby. I think it will certainly come on from the 2 races. It's got really good form. And that is going to be one of my first tips for today. Lazuli to win the 150 at Sandown. We'll look at the next race, again, as I mentioned, about William Buick having a good day. Cross Counter, in my opinion, will win that race. You look at its form, as we will just now, just so everyone can see. It's running a Group 3 today. Again, you look at the sire, Teofilo, King Mambo, excellent pedigree. Excellent pedigree. Its last race was against Stradivarius. We know all about Stradivarius. It was over 2 miles 4. Today, it's running over 2 miles. That won't bother Cross Counter. The horse travels well. It's different if you've got a horse that doesn't travel, but this travels well. Am I ruling out anything else? No, absolutely not. Spanish Mission, 1 run, 6, Ryan Moore on it. It's certainly got a chance. Dashing Willoughby, 1 run, it's won it. Confident enough. But I do think on this occasion, I think Cross Counter will win it. The danger is probably Spanish Mission, if I'm being totally honest. So I wouldn't rule Dashing Willoughby or Spanish Mission out at all. With holds, 1, 2, it's had 2 races, 7th and 4th. I don't think it's up to scratch with the other 3 horses. But I just feel on this occasion, it's got to go on. It's dropping back and 4 furlongs, which won't bother Cross Counter at all. And I think Cross Counter will win that race. Is that one of my tips? Absolutely. Cross Counter to win the 225 at Sandown. Next race is a very, very interesting race. I'm not going to make a tip here with any of these ones, but there's 4 or 5 in here that could win this. At the moment, Motham is 64 favourite from Dark Vision. You watch their race, the last race that they horses ran against each other was only a week ago, or 10 days ago, a few weeks ago. And Dark Vision beat Motham. But the difference today, and the reason that Motham's favourite today, is because Dark Visions went up an extra £3. And as you can see there, the overall rating of Dark Visions 106 to 100 for Motham. Plus the weight, there's a £6 difference in weight there. Dark Vision ran against Motham the last time, won it by, I think it was a length and a half. If you look at for every £3, it's a length. So you're looking at the last race, they've went up £3. They're basically saying that Motham and Dark Vision are going to finish dead heat on the line. Or Motham, because it's got that little bit extra weight, less weight to contend with, and Dark Vision's got the extra weight, they're saying that Motham could probably just turn the tables around here. If it was me, I think Dark Vision. Yeah, a lot of you are probably saying, but you've just explained there that it's carrying a wee bit extra weight, £3 to every length. So they're looking at, and by the way, you can't rule out any of the other horses. You can't rule out Acquitted. You can't rule out Mutasami, Kazaa, Ryan Moore on it. You can't rule out these horses because as we've seen yesterday with the Derby, anything can happen in a horse race. But doing your homework, you would like to think that the winner of this race is going to come out of the first 3 or 4. I just think, I don't think the weight difference will bother Dark Vision too much. I could be wrong. Maybe the bookies have got this right. Maybe they're saying it 64 Motham, 41 Dark Vision. The tables have been turned in betting wise because of the extra weight put on Dark Vision. And that could be the way it turns out. But I'm going to stick with Dark Vision. Is it going to be my tip? Nope, it's not. I would expect Dark Vision to be there at the death. So, yeah, interesting race, this one. Very interesting. As I say, there's 3, 4 or 5 horses that could win this. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with Dark Vision and Motham. One race to have a look at and keep an eye on. The next race is obviously the big one, the Coral Eclipse. Who's all going for Abel? And Abel, the Queen of the Turf. She's done nothing wrong. She's a spectacular horse. 128 overall rating. But am I going to do an Abel? No. I think Gaiath is going to do something here that a lot of other horses haven't done. Can we rule out Japan? No, we can't. Regal Reality could be the dark horse in this race. I would just keep if I was doing Regal Reality, it would definitely be each way. He ain't going to finish in front of Enable, I don't think, or Gaiath. But Gaiath won the Coronation Cup over 1-4. He's now back at 1-2. And the way to get this horse, in my opinion, is fresh. Now, he's had 2 races. His first race, that was a canter. The second race, I thought was a tough race to go out there, lead for the front. The power it had in front at Newmarket, and to win that race by 3 or 4 lengths was a spectacular run from it. But it's coming up a different animal in Enable. It's coming up a different animal in Japan. So my tip for the Coral Eclipse, I am going to take Gaiath. I think Gaiath, first couple of furlongs, I think if he's out there in front, just dawdling along, not doing his power run that he done in the Coral, but if he does take the first couple of furlongs, just out, even sitting first or second, and then with a mile to go or 7 furlongs to go, just press that accelerator a little bit, just to see what response you get from Enable and Japan. And I mean, there's some. Deirdre's a really good horse. Magic Wand is a really good horse, but I don't think they're up to the standard of Enable and Gaiath and Japan, to be quite honest. It's just going to depend on how Enable's fit. If it's 100% fit, will Enable win it? Probably. Gaiath can be a funny horse, but if you look at its first 2 runs, the first one it's ran out the park, it's won it by a distance. Its second one was up against good horses. Granted, it was over 1 mile 4 and Stradivarius likes further, etc. Anthony Van Dyke came out and won last year's Derby. I just think if Enable just isn't fit, I think Gaiath will win this. I think Japan will certainly come on for its run, its last run. So, it's a really, really quality race. I just hope we get a horse race, not like the Derby. I just hope we get a horse race in this. I think Gaiath will certainly put pressure on Enable, on Japan, and it's how they two are going to react to it, definitely. But my tip for here, in the Coral Eclipse, over 1 mile 2 at Sandown, is going to be Gaiath to win this race. Alright? So, the tips for today, just quickly going over them. It's not that race, it's this race. I am going to take Lazuli to win the 150 at Sandown. I think it'll probably go out there and lead, and hopefully nothing comes back at it. Liberty Beach is a danger, but I think that's probably, in my opinion, the only danger to it. Dark horse in it is probably Ali. I backed that the last time, ran an absolute stinker. It was its first run, but that's certainly going to come on from its race. But I think Lazuli will win the 150 at Sandown. The 225 cross counter, I think I'll probably just have too much for Dashing Willoughby and Spanish Mission, even though it'll probably be quite a close race, but I do think cross counter will come out on top. And obviously in the big race, the 335, the Coral Eclipse, I am going to go for Gaiath to beat Enable. So it's Gaiath for me in the big race. Alright? Hope everybody is keeping well, staying safe, doing the social distancing. Some of you are probably out at the pub having a couple of drinks. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy Sandown today. And yes, I know it's late, but I'll have this video within the next, I think it's about 11:30 just now. So I'll have it out within the next 20 minutes. Alright, take care. See you all soon.